All right, let's kick it off. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for the Hartford Ski Spectacular's Dryland Strength Intermediate Training. My name is Waida Gomez Garcia, and I am with Move United, a senior events manager here at Move United. I would like to thank the Hartford for their longstanding commitment and support, allowing us to bring you this virtual opportunity. Before we get started, I did want to go over some housekeeping items. Again, I know this is a reminder, a refresher for many of you that are returning or tuning into various sessions, so just bear with me. All attendees will be on mute to minimize distractions. Please feel free to turn on your video using camera button or the start video at the bottom of your screen. These sessions will be recorded, so if you don't want your video shown, just make sure you turn it off, or if you haven't signed the media release, which I think most of you have, make sure you disable your camera. Please feel free, closed captioning has been enabled for this session, so you're able to adjust the font sizes at the bottom. Make sure you send your chat message to everybody if you want to connect with everyone, and introduce yourself to the group. With that, I am thrilled to turn it over to Kep and Chelsea, who are going to be working through some strength training during today's session. Kep?
Morning, everyone. Thanks again for joining in. Waida, thank you very much. We're going to cover a couple things today for some dryland basics and some intermediate training. We're going to try to utilize the tools that we were given for our kit, which is some amazing bands, some jump ropes, a couple bouncy balls here that we can use for some different exercises to get everybody moving, to get everybody set for their snowboarding season. So first and foremost, I want to try to touch on a few basics. Number one is you always want to try to get into some stretching before you do any of these exercises or activities, especially when you get on the hill. You want to just make sure that you're ready physically and mentally to jump out on a mountain and get moving down the hill. A few things that we want to kind of go over for our exercises today is that we're going to focus on some cardio. We're going to focus on a little bit of strength training, some balance, and we're also going to be focusing on just protecting your system for getting out on the hill. A lot of these exercises we're going to go through are going to have different variations and adaptations that'll work best for you. So essentially, we're looking at doing some of these exercises. They're all going to be unique to you. So you want to take quite a few of these exercises we're going to show you today. And if you need to have some small variations or anything that works best for you, add those into your exercise routine. So first off, we're going to start out with some circuit training. With circuit training, like I said, you want to get some stretching in before you start. Try to get some movement into your system so you're ready to go once you kind of get into a higher level of activity. With circuits, you've got two options. You can do them for time, or you can do them for reps. So with that being said, you can set a timer, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever you're trying to work towards, and you can go through these 3 to 5 times. Or you can just set a number. You can set an arbitrary number, say you're going to do 10 to 15 or whatever it is, and try to work your way through that way, and still do 3 to 5 sets. So we're going to start out first here with a little bit of cardio. In the cardio, we've got in our kit, we've got the jump rope. Jump rope's pretty simple. If you have a standard jump rope or the Hartford Move United jump rope set, these are pretty good. These can be used for different variations and abilities. Say you've only got one arm, you can still jump rope. You can do your own attachments and do some things that'll be set for being able to jump rope with both of these. Jump rope's pretty self-explanatory. That's a good cardio workout that you can set for some time and just try to get movement into your system before you start getting into some more explosive type of exercises that we'll show you here now. First one we're going to start off with is a ball. This is my friend Chelsea. She was a track and field athlete in college. She also has been volunteer with Adaptive Sports Center in Crested Butte, and she's worked with quite a few athletes for different variations for things. She's got a few tips and pointers that she'll add in as we go through this. So first off, we're going to start out with just a simple ball toss. And if you're working in a place where you can throw it against a wall, you can throw it against a wall. If you're in your house, maybe you don't want to knock down the pictures. Anyway, we're gonna go through a couple things here for a ball toss, and this is just going to help you with some hand-eye coordination. It's going to help you with some agility and some movement to get going. These are all kind of basic tune-ups for getting movement into your core, getting movement into your legs, and just getting warmed up so you can get out on the hill potentially for a great day on snow. So we'll start off with a couple different variations here. First one is just going to be tossing it back and forth, just nice and easy. And with this, we can start to add in some movement. So we can move laterally side to side. And with this, we're engaging the core, we're engaging quads, we're engaging glutes, we're engaging everything that's kind of getting us set for being in an active position for snowboarding. So like I said, you can use this against a wall, you can bounce off a wall, back and forth if you can, for your own movement. If you have a partner that you can use, it's awesome. You can get some movement in, and you can go, once again, you go with time, or you can go with just numbers that you're going to do. You go to 10, that's good. You count down, you're good enough. One of the next exercises here that she was going to set up for us is also on the ground. We're trying to get some more core workouts in. This is something that you can do individually. Individually, you can do taps on either side for sit-ups. There's different variations of these as well. If you have a partner with you, you can hand across your partner. Partner comes back, and then you're going to switch sides. At some point, you can switch directions, so then you're going to the opposite side. These are both really good. There's variations you can do for these, for having your feet on the ground, having your feet straight out, whatever you need for your balance and mobility to help engage the core. If you're a little more advanced, you can try to keep your feet up in the air. There's so many different variations of these exercises you can do here that'll just get you moving, and you're going to develop your own system for your own core strength by doing these. There's a couple other that I'll have her demonstrate, which is with the ball between the feet and being able to go up and over your head. Yeah, you can see there. These are all going to keep you engaged. Good. And these are all different variations, like I said, that you can try for yourself. They'll work the best. With those, you can also add in some twisting elements that are going to help really tighten your core, and that's going to help you tremendously for all your snow sports. There's another one that we can do that's kind of set up where, like I said, once again, if you have some partners with you, it's always funner. It's better time to exercise. It's more fun to exercise with somebody else, and it can also keep you motivated. And this is another one that you can use with a wall, that you can bounce off of a wall. And there's a lot of really good things you can use for this ball for just utilizing some core workouts and some core strength. So one of the next things we're going to go to here is the bands. Another simple warm-up that you can use is just taking the bands and putting them flat on the ground. And depending on your ability level, you can just do some simple stuff by just jumping back and forth over. You're just using that as a line. And you can use different variations, forward, backwards, side to side. You can try to do multiple movements like this with your feet just to get moving and working on agility. And all these things here are building, once again, they're building strength into your core, they're building strength into your lower body, which is going to help you tremendously for getting set for snowboarding and for skiing, for alpine skiing, or any other snow sports. One of the other things too we can also do with this is adding in a band that's tied. And with this system, you're going to be able to put the knees. If you need to go more advanced, you can go around a little higher up on your thighs for more resistance. You can also tie these. You can tie these a little bit tighter if you need more resistance, or you can actually double these up if you need more resistance with the bands. But here's a few more variations that we're going to try to show you with some jump squats. And you can start out with just basic squats. You can start out with some jump squats. For snowboarding, we actually try to do different variations of doing squats into jump squats, and we kind of can call them out. So I can say 2 squats, and then jump squat, 2 squats, 2 jump squats. And this whole system here is set when you're on a border cross course. Everything, you've got movements for stuff that's coming at you with speed. And what you're trying to do is get used to all these different variations of the course that are coming at you with speed. So she's actually showing some jump squats with 180 turns, which is something else that's really helpful for us when we're on snow, is being able to switch from edge to edge when you're on a border cross course. So these are all things that we kind of do, and we'll make some fun exercises with this where we'll go for a minute to a minute and a half, and our coaches are calling out different features that are on the course, which mentally, as you're preparing for the course, you're kind of set in this position. And in a border cross position, you're in this stacked stance where your core is tight, your lower body's engaged, your upper body's engaged, and you're going through a lot of range of motion on courses when you're heading down the hill at 40 mile an hour with 40-foot jumps and big bank turns. So it's exciting, and this is all the stuff that we kind of get set for preparing for it off the snow, so we can be as prepared as possible on the snow. So we've got another couple things here. We can do some walk balance training, and these are all changing small degrees, kind of squatting. She can go forward, she can go backwards. She can do some lateral movement side to side. And all these can have small variations too of just changing 15 degrees or 30 degrees or 45 degrees side to side, which is going to help give you a well-rounded workout for your legs and a lower body workout. Yeah, so these other small variations, once again, these are smaller variations you can use that are going to build strength into a lower body workout that's going to help you get set for being able to tackle all the snow, all the stuff on the snow here. So if you take a few of these, we'll show you a few more. Couple other things that we were showing yesterday in the beginner workout is being able to take the bands and work with these underneath your feet, and just being able to get set for doing, these are more deadlifts, which these bands can be utilized in so many different variations. You can also start to get these set for when you are doing these squats. If you double these up, you can get much more resistance. You can get set for much more dynamic, explosive moves on the snow. In the snowboarding position, I'll show you from the side here, we always want to try to get everything engaged this way. When our body's in a vertical plane, it's going to help us. If our chest is over and our backside is sticking out, it's a counterbalance that doesn't work out so well for snowboarding. So all these exercises, think about engaging your core, keeping your chest up, your chin up, just the same way you'd have vision on the hill. So when you're thinking about doing some of these squats, really keep this core engaged, keep everything tight inside here, and try to keep a vertical plane with your chest as you're going through some of these exercises. Chelsea's going to help us with a few more here. Just a couple more of the ones that you can explain for. Just a couple of variations. Some of these can be modified. Yeah, some of these can be modified even without the bands. And some of these can be modified depending on your ability level. If you have an amputation, let's say, and you need to have something that's below your foot for balance, you might have something that's just a book or a weight or something else that's below a foot that'll kind of keep you set for staying balanced the best that you can. Like I said, once again, you want to try to keep your core engaged and in a vertical plane. So some of these variations that you can have will just be set for whatever works best for your system as you're doing your own training. We're actually going to go through a couple more movement exercises here with the ball. Just using the small ball that we have here. This is stuff that we use with our athletes while we're in a hotel room, is just tossing back and forth with some movement. And then some of the other variations is low, quick stuff. We also came up with another one. If she puts the band on, and this is where you get to kind of make your workout fun if you're with a partner, and this is actually stuff that we use for the mental side of snowboarding, is that when you're on a snowboard course, a bordercross course, and you're heading down the hill at 30, 40 mile an hour, and you've got all these different features that are coming at you with speed, your reactionary time has to be spot on. So we actually do stuff with multiple angles with the ball. So she's got the band, she's going to do some side to side. I'm going to toss variations as she moves. Which ball is going to come at you, you don't know. And this is all stuff that we do for fun, of trying to get used to reactionary stuff with movement and with exercise, with resistant exercise. So these are all small variations that you can use for making it fun while you're doing your exercises, as well as getting in a heck of a workout. I know Carlos is on. We had some crazy training sessions in the office back in the day. He's shaking his head. And like I said, you want to try to make your workout fun. You want to make it as challenging as possible. You also want to adapt as best as you can, so you're kind of getting your body set and prepared for a long season. One other thing is super important for all this is when you're done, is to get a cool down. You have to get that period of rest that's in there, getting proper hydration, getting food back into your system, so your body can heal up, and then make sure you start to get back into some stretching after all of your exercises, even when you're on the mountain. It's really, really important after a long day of skiing or snowboarding is to let that body heal. So coming off the mountain, trying to take some time to stretch and relax is super important. And then remembering to breathe is one of the most important things, which I forget to breathe on Zoom calls here. Yeah, that's one of the most important things, though, through all this is take time. You can modify your own workouts to accommodate so many things that work best for you. But remember to breathe. Remember to make those adjustments so you have the best workout possible. And so you're prepared. So when you get into ski season, your body is set mentally and physically to go out and have a great day on snow. I know from working with amputees and working with some of our other athletes on the Paralympic team, you might only get a window of an hour to get on snow sometimes, and you want to make the best of it when you're on snow. So all this work that you're doing for dryland training during the off season and even during the season to keep your body prepared for snow sports is super important. So if you get a chance to incorporate a couple of these circuit trainings in throughout the week, it's going to keep you physically fit. So that hour that you're on snow is going to be the best hour possible for your training. And it's going to be the most fun you can have when you're on the snow. I'd like to go through a couple other things while we're here. Definitely when you're getting into the higher level of snow sports for skiing and snowboarding, all these things that we've done here are going to continue to build your coordination. It's going to continue to help you build your balance. There's a lot of things that we do. As a side note to this, if you can get a couple of these and you're sitting at home and you can try to teach yourself how to juggle, those are just more tools that you have. A lot of people don't think that juggling with your upper body is necessarily going to be helping you for your lower body for a snow sport, that your primary focus is on your lower body. But just doing some things like that, getting your head attached to the bottom, all the way down to whatever you have. If you can feel all the way down to your toes and you can wiggle 10 toes, that's where you need to be connected. Jane was talking about this with some yoga yesterday, is you want to be connected all the way down. It doesn't matter where you're at for your lower extremities. If you can feel toes, if you're missing a leg, you still want to visualize that you have that leg that's there. We try to stress that with our athletes, is visualize having a whole body. As an athlete, you want to push yourself so you can utilize all the ability that you have, and all these variations that we have for these drills here will hopefully get you set for being able to do that. Once again, you want to be adaptive for everything you're doing for your exercises. You want to have as much fun as possible with these exercises, and get the most out of it. Be creative. Utilize these tools to make your snow experience the best one possible. Something else that we add in while we're doing workouts is music. Music can kind of keep it lighthearted, can keep you motivated, and that's something else that it can be part of your daily routine, is turning some music on, getting your exercises going before you get out on the hill. That'll keep you in good shape. Also, seek out, if you need a little bit of help for some stuff and you're kind of getting into the next level, seek out a strength and conditioning coach if that works out for you. Having a professional that's close by that can help you get set, that can work with you for an individual training plan, that's one of the best things that you can possibly do. That's gonna create a relationship with you and your coach that's going to help make you the strongest athlete possible. Also, something else to add in is possibly seeking out a nutritionist. If you're trying to get into exercise and you're trying to change to become a professional athlete, it's a it's a full-time job. So having a strength and conditioning coach, potentially a nutritionist, some other people on board for a support system is what's going to help make you the best athlete possible. And a lot of these variations that we were showing you here, hopefully you can take quite a few of these and adapt them into a hotel exercise routine if you're traveling or on the road, and that you can also take these from your living room to a large workout gym or a larger workout space, where you can have a little more space to move and have a little more space for your own mobility. Yeah, and once again, this is just trying to build in lower strength conditioning, which is going to be key for longevity for your snowboarding season. Building strength into your quads and into your hamstrings and your glutes, and staying well-rounded for all these exercises is going to help you become the best athlete possible once you're getting out on snow. Yeah, we really appreciate everything that Move United's done. These kits, I think some of them are still available. You can check in with the office staff there. I think some of these are still available. If you're interested, they can ship them to you. It's a great way to get started. It's a fun way to get started with utilizing some of these tools for hitting your own workouts. And like I said, the long-term goal for using these pieces of equipment here is to build strength for the season. You want to develop your core strength and develop your own system so you get ready and set for the ski season. If you guys have any other questions or comments, please send them.
Sorry to interrupt. There are a couple questions that came through the chat.
Okay.
And I also,
Sure.
And Candace, I know you raised your hand. Did you want to come off mute and ask your question? Otherwise, we can dive into some of the questions that came in through the chat. Let's see. All right, let's dive into some questions that came through the chat. And Tisha, thanks for answering one of William's questions. We'll pose it to Kev just in case he has any additional feedback. William had posted, I can't see the ball once it leaves my hands. What would be a good variation?
Oh, yeah, maybe just trying to get closer to a wall. Maybe just trying to get keep it in your hands and think about doing more of a touch. So you actually could be reaching with a wall. If the ball is in your hand, you could potentially think about using a clock. So you're going to be trying to touch the ball to a wall at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And that way, once it hits the wall, you'd actually hear it and feel it. So you could potentially do like a variation like that would work for you for visual impairment, that would be able to, you would be going to a point of contact. And that could be something that somebody, if you've got a partner that's working out with you, they could do variations of telling you different points on the clock, and that would be your reactionary side of it. So they would just keep calling out different numbers, and then as you start to go quicker with that, your reaction would get quicker, and that would be a really cool variation. And I see you shaking your head. I think that makes sense. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's the adaptive world. It's trying to sort out what works best for you. So awesome question. Thanks, William.
And actually, he did ask another question, and I will ask this because I actually deal with this myself. Do you have any recommendations for hip flexor exercises to help with pain or any hip issues?
So there's quite a few.
For stretching or for exercising?
Yeah, is this would this just be for stretching, or are you thinking about for strengthening, or both?
William, there you go.
Share a couple. So we have a couple. So a couple easy ones for hip flexors are just putting one foot forward and having one foot back that's on the ground and just leaning forward, that should start to get a stretch in the front of your hip flexor. There's a couple others that are a little more modified where you're actually sitting down and you can do the same stretch, and maybe Chelsea can demo here. That's one there that helps. It's a modified hip flexor stretch.
That's a good one.
Right, and if you need to modify that, you can put a pillow under your backside there that'll help kind of keep you balanced or whatever works out. Usually the best one to start out with is just this position here, and trying to get that stretch and slowly work your hips forward to get that stretch into that hip flexor. Something else that's also really good for hip flexors is having a roller, a foam roller, and just, you can manually do that. You can actually just go on your side and you can kind of stretch out that band that's in there. And it's also, these are also really good for your IT band.
IT bands, yes.
Yep. So there's some variations you can do there to help roll things out, just to keep that a little more pliable and flexible. It's another great question.
Perfect. I think, unless anybody wants to come off mute and ask a question, we are coming up on time and be happy to address any additional questions. We do have a couple extra minutes. Otherwise, we will be adding Kep's email address to the chat momentarily, so you can direct your questions to him post-session.
And once again, thanks to everybody behind the scenes that's helping with putting all this together. Locally, wherever you are, through Move United, you can potentially find some programming options that are close to you. And I'd also suggest, if you're getting into some serious workouts, is to find a trainer that can help you. There's a lot of really good people that are in the exercise sports world that are willing to work with adaptive athletes to help them adjust and adapt to new workouts and new ideas, to help people stay physically fit. So it's something, there's a ton of options that are out there. Try to have as much fun with this as possible, and build your own strength in whatever manner you can, and then hopefully be able to get out on snow and then enjoy the mountains and the ski slopes for a season. So thanks again, guys. Chelsea, thank you very much. And if you guys have any questions, just send some emails and we'll get back to you. So
awesome.
Thanks. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ski Spec.
Yes, it's been a great week, and we couldn't have done it without you, Kep. Kelsey, thanks for joining us. To wrap up today, we just wanted to remind everyone we value everyone's feedback. So if you can take a few seconds to complete the survey that's been shared on the chat and is going to appear post you exiting this session, we'd love to hear from you. So please take a moment to do so. Kep, all the tips, the tricks, the exercises, the introductory, beginner, advanced information you shared certainly is going to go a long way, and we will continue to have this dialogue and grow the sport of snowboard. I feel like it really has progressed in the last decade, and I feel like more interest is being generated thanks to volunteers, instructors like yourself that are passionate in getting more people engaged. So thank you. We can't thank you enough. To everyone else, if you want to stay engaged and share your favorite ski spec memory, we continue to encourage everyone to share their experience, their thoughts, anything they've learned through social media and #ski spec. So with that, we will wrap up and thank everyone for tuning in today. And hopefully we'll see you in some other sessions.
Hope to see you on snow next year. Thanks.
Yes, that too.